Hello lads and lassies and welcome back to my channel as Amherst Mayhem. Today we'll be going over 10 of my favourite horror games. Now I couldn't fit this into October but I still wanted to make the video. So before we get into this video, enjoy this, remember to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe for more. You can support me on Patreon, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, links in the description, and let's get into it. This is in no particular order. So first up is one that I bought because it was cheap and I was curious, and ended up absolutely loving it. And I think it is leaps and bounds above the original, and that is The Evil Within 2. This is one of the most fun survival horror games I have ever played. It is fantastic. If you've never played this, I encourage you to. I think it's on Game Pass, and I also know that it goes for dirt cheap now. So please, I encourage you to check it out if you like horror, because it is really, really good. There's crafting, there's a big kind of semi-open world. It is awesome, and I'm considering doing another playthrough very soon. But yeah, definitely check out The Evil Within 2. It is brilliant. Next up, we have... now, there are a couple in here that, you can argue either way, but their foundations are rooted in horror. Next up is Dying Light. This is a game that... it's just fantastic. Over the years, it's grown to become one of my favourite games. It is so much fun. The expansion is fantastic. It's one of the best, complete packages of a game that you can get. The DLC is awesome, and the main game is awesome as well. Just the parkouring, the free running, it is actually terrifying at night when you're being chased by the... is it the Night Hunters? What is it? Is there a name here? Okay, I can't find it right here anywhere, but it is so much fun. And the sequel was extremely disappointing for me, because they added stamina into the parkour, which made it a bit worse. The worlds were a bit too big for my liking, and overall, it just did not live up to the first one for me. I still think that the first Dying Light is an absolutely just incredible game, and I do encourage you to try it out. Next up is a game that upon first playthrough, I didn't like at all. But when I played through it again for the channel in January, February, I loved it. And that is F.E.A.R 1. This game is absolutely terrifying, and also at the same time so much fun. The gunplay is so satisfying. The scares are great, and they're not cheap. They are earned, and this is such a classic. I get it now. This game is incredible. If you've not played F.E.A.R before, I 100% recommend that you do, because it is brilliant. Next up, we have a game that I've always liked, and I'm very pissed off that I'm filming this before Alan Wake 2 comes out, but I'm very pissed off that the second one, well, you just heard what it was, it's Alan Wake, but I'm very pissed off the second one's not getting a disc. I will be playing it, but Alan Wake 1 is incredible. It is quite scary, very fun, and just, it's so creative in the way it does its scares and the way it does its story. And the DLCs are great as well. If you haven't played Alan Wake, I do recommend it a lot. And yeah, it's just such a unique game in my opinion, and one of my favourite horror games. Next up is, this is one of the ones where, you can give or take it, but Evil Dead the game. This is the only, now, I think it's called asymmetrical horror games that I've ever fully gotten into, and I had so much fun with. I've kind of fallen out of love with it now, because they've fucked us over with the season pass. Whereas I got the season pass, but it doesn't include everything, so I'm kind of done with it. But for the longest time, I adored this game, and honestly, I still think I really would enjoy it. But yeah, this is the only asymmetrical horror game I've ever been able to play for ages, and it's one of the best. I definitely recommend Evil Dead the game 100%. It is a lot of fun. Next up is another one that this is one of the first Xbox One games I ever got, and I absolutely loved it. This was actually one of the reasons I picked up an Xbox One, was for this game. Obviously, to switch generations, but this was one of the reasons. Dead Rising 3. This game is so much fun. It's my favourite Dead Rising out of all of them. I do still have a really soft spot for the first two, but this is just the most open and the most creative one, in my opinion. The map is huge, the buildable variety is huge, and I have just had so much fun with this game. The DLCs are quite fun as well. They're not great, but they add to it if you already enjoy the core gameplay. But yeah, this game is a lot of fun, and again, it's so cheap now that I definitely recommend giving it a try if you haven't. Don't try 4. 4 is shit. Then we have, excuse me, something was caught in my throat there. Then we have Dead Space 2. When I played this for the channel back in February, I remembered why I loved it so much. It does feel very different to the first one, but it is absolutely fantastic nonetheless. The crafting, the actual horror elements mixed with the action is fantastic. The story is great. Excuse me. Everything about this game is absolutely fantastic, and it is the best in the franchise in terms of pure fun. I mean, I don't think I need to say much more. Definitely check out Dead Space 2. I'm pretty sure it's on Game Pass or EA Play, but definitely check Dead Space 2 out if you've never played it. And then Dead Space Remake. This is so much fun. I've had so much fun playing through this. I want to say it's still my favorite game of the year so far, because there's nothing else I can think of that tops this so far. This is absolutely fantastic. A perfect remake. The visuals are incredible. The gameplay is incredible. The sound design, everything in this game is top notch. The fact that they've made it now that you can backtrack to other sections, and they made it semi-open world. They've made it seamless and it doesn't feel forced. This is one of the best horror games I've ever played, and it's definitely, like, a lot of these are just ones I watch talk about, but this is definitely in my like top 5, maybe even top 3. It is absolutely incredible. If you've never played Dead Space Remake, I highly recommend it. It is incredible. Then we have, second to last, we have Resident Evil 2 Remake. This is the only remake that I have loved. Resident Evil 3 I enjoyed, Village I enjoyed. I know Village isn't a remake, but 4 I enjoyed as well, I just didn't love it. 2 is still the, like, gold standard for me. And the only thing that's come close to that for me is Resident Evil 4, and even then it's not that close. Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite horror games ever. It is absolutely fantastic. I do recommend this wholeheartedly. The 2 campaigns you get, along with all the bonus stuff, all the unlockables, like, it's just such a good value for money package, and it is an incredible game. It is terrifying, it is fun. It's Resident Evil 2 Remake. You guys probably already know about it, but definitely play it if you haven't. And finally, this is definitely in my top 3. Condemned, Criminal Origins, or just Condemned as it's known over here. Condemned is absolutely terrifying and so much fun. Condemned is... The melee fighting in this is a lot of fun. The actual setting just makes you feel uncomfortable all the time, and it's just this, like, it was, I'm pretty sure it was the first playthrough I did on the channel, and it still scares the shit out of me. It is fantastic. If you've never played Condemned, I highly recommend it. Don't bother playing the second, although you can only play it on consoles, but the first Condemned is one of my favorite. It's definitely in my top 3. It is fantastic. If you've never played it, please play it. It is brilliant, and I really wish that they would do a remake or a remaster or something, because God, I love this game so much. And that was 10 of my favourite horror games. Let me know if you agree with any of these, you disagree with any of these. Let me know what your favourite horror games are in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you do enjoy this, remember to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe for more. You can support me on Patreon, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, links in the description. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.